the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is one of his advocacy. One of his advocacy is learn to love being you, and other than Mr. Mike Wood.
Hello, Daniel. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Mike, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, I'm still a COO of a construction company. That's what I do for a day job these days. And
Yes.
I'm kind of transitioning into another phase of my life where I'm trying to give back and help other people find the peace and joy that I've found. And that's why I created the Learn to Love Being You program. It's designed to help people uh, take control of their thoughts and emotions and heal from their past pain and trauma.
Indeed. And Mr. Mike, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And let's talk about learn to love being you. What does the phrase learn to love being you mean to you personally?
You know, what I realized helping some folks that most people don't realize that they're loving everybody else, but they're not taking care of themselves. And the only way that we could truly help others is if we actually learn to love being ourselves and they learn to take care of themselves. And most people don't have a clue how to do that, or that that's even possible. So, what does that mean to me? It means that I need to I need to make sure that I'm taking care of myself before I try to take care of somebody else. You know, that we get on an airplane, they pass out the safety announcements, and they tell us that we have to put the oxygen mask on ourselves first before a child, because if you don't take care of yourself first, you're going to pass out. You're not going to be able to put the oxygen mask on the child. Um, so to me, learning to love being you is uh, it's kind of a way of life that we got to take care of our children. We have to take care of our wives and our coworkers and our friends and our family, but we got to start with ourselves first, because if we truly want to take care of others, we have to take care of ourselves first.
When did you first realize the importance of embracing your authentic self?
Um, it's taken me a while to learn that. The authenticity, that's a big word. It's a very powerful thing. Most people think the most powerful emotion on the planet is love, but it's not. It's authenticity. And when I started embracing that is when I realized how much I was actually lying to myself, lying to others, being able to go inward and face my fears that make me want to act that way. That was a big deal. That's probably last 2 or 3 years really, and I still deal with it. I'm constantly trying to check myself and make sure I'm being authentic and I'm living the right way with forgiveness, compassion, love, and all things that I do. Um, and it's a challenge because the ego wants to take us in a different direction.
What challenges have you faced in learning to love and accept who you are?
Forgiving myself, that was probably the biggest one. Being able to forgive myself for the mistakes that I've made, that was an extremely big chapter in my life where you know facing your fears and having regrets and making mistakes in your past and being able to go back, look at them, and forgive myself for any mistakes that I've made, and just move forward with good intentions and intent to do the right thing moving forward is pretty powerful. And then to be able to forgive others, well, that just brings a whole nother level of peace and joy when you could forgive everybody else around you instantly. Um, Now all of a sudden, somebody can't control my emotions because I'm forgiving them for cutting me off in traffic, or I'm forgiving them for saying something that was a little hurtful. Um, it allows me to take that power back, you know, and it's a pretty amazing thing.
Definitely. And can you share a moment in your life when you felt truly confident in being yourself?
Right now,
Right now. Right
right
now, Mr. Mike.
Yeah, man, the present moment. Like if we could all just bring our attention into the present moment, we're all going to be confident in ourselves because there are no thoughts happening. You know, there's no second guessing going on when we bring our attention into the present moment. There's only the now, the present, and there's no negative thoughts running through our mind. So for me, it's a constant bringing that attention into the present moment.
Definitely. How do you differentiate between self love and self obsession or narcissism?
You know, that's a great question. I would say self love is done with compassion, um, love, forgiveness for yourself and for others. But you have to do it equally for everyone and yourself. You can't if you start putting other folks down in order to build yourself up. It's you starting to separate things. You know, if there's people that are being negative, you might need to separate yourself from them. Um, if you got a group of friends and all they do is talk about people, well, when you leave, they're going to talk about you. If you come to that realization and you have to either have a difficult conversation with them or separate yourself from them, either way, forgiving them and just letting them know how you feel and then moving forward, loving yourself enough to know that you don't need to be around negativity. That's not narcissism. That's not being negative towards them. That's just protecting yourself. Um, but if you're pushing somebody down to lift yourself up, you know, that's when the lines get drawn. You learn how to love yourself. You're going to figure out pretty quickly that if you treat people the same way, life is just, it's pretty easy.
Yes, definitely. Life is too short, too. What role does self compassion play in learning to love being you?
Self compassion, you know, I would say that being compassionate towards yourself is is kind of a vital thing. I never really thought about it in terms of just compassion. I always throw some other words in there with it, but if you're just using compassion, and um, we just say it's a constant reminder to just be kind to yourself. You know, being kind to yourself is pretty powerful. We on a daily basis we're making mistakes. We don't even grow unless we make a mistake. So being compassion, showing compassion towards yourself and being compassionate towards others as well, that allows you to make mistakes and get back up and try it again.
Yes, try until you succeed, people. And have you ever struggled with comparing yourself to others? If so, how did you overcome it?
Absolutely. I think everybody does, and I think I still do from time to time. Um, but it's it's just a self-awareness, because if we are comparing ourselves to others, you're going to be overwhelmed with some pretty negative physical emotions. And so if you're comparing yourself to others and you're feeling those emotions, you really need to do some self-reflection and identify what it is that you're comparing yourself to, and try to detach from that, try to disassociate from the fact that you're um, comparing yourself to others, because this is a one-man race. Like we're all a one-person race, man, woman. Uh, we're not in competition with anybody else, and and I know life. in the world that we're living in, it seems like everything's a competition. Got to beat this guy, got to beat that guy. That's not the case. We just have to go inward and find peace, and getting out of that world of competition and putting yourself above somebody else, looking on social media and looking what somebody else has and you don't have it. That's not a reflection of a quality life. What's going on in between your ears is where peace and joy is found.
Yes, indeed. Peace, peace, peace be with you. And don't compare yourself, people. The more you will frustrated with yourself. And how do you think past experiences like childhood or relationships shapes one's ability to love themselves?
It's everything. It's the reason I created this course. We have uh, a subconscious mind that is extremely powerful, and the way it gets programmed is to get yourself in an elevated emotional state, and then you have a clear intention. So if I was 3 years old and I got into an elevated emotional state and I was left feeling ugly, stupid, unlovable, unworthy, that happened in the present moment, and it's still the present moment, and I'm still living with it. So those those feelings and emotions, they don't leave us. It happened in the present moment. It's still the present moment, and we're still feeling unworthy, unlovable, stupid, and and ugly. And those are the major ones. They're universal. They're not directed at any one person because it's all pretty common. They carry with us into the future. The beautiful thing about it is that could be a curse if we don't know how to deal with it. But the Buddhists been teaching for over 2,500 years how to go back and reframe old past negative core beliefs with compassion, love, and forgiveness. And we could take that old core belief and move it out of the way so that doesn't affect us in our new relationships. Um, a lot of people grow up with parents and they say, "Hey, I don't want to be like my parents," and then 20 years later, they're exactly like their parents because it's a program. But we don't have to live by these programs. We have the power to rewrite all of them.
Mr. Mike, as CEO and as a coach, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
um, to just to just get the message out there that uh, we don't have to be miserable. We can control our thoughts and emotions. We can find peace and joy. Um, those are my long-term goals now. As far as the COOs, to continue to build a peaceful place where people can uh, make money, and also uh, have a work environment that's filled with all these same philosophies where they could find peace and joy in a place that's going to respect them and reward them for their hard work. At the same time, demand that our customers get what they're paying for, and let the rest of it sort itself out after that.
Good luck to your goals, Mr. Mike. And what will be your piece of advice to someone who feels they are not good enough as they are?
Just know that it's a lie. Those thoughts that are making you feel that way, it's a pre-programmed lie. You got in an emotional state when you were a young person, and you were left feeling unworthy, unlovable, and it's still with you, still the present moment, and it's it's a lie. You don't have to live that way. If you're feeling that way, you can change. You can reach out to a program like mine, and find some peace and joy, or go wherever your heart desires, but just take your external focus and turn it inward. If you do that, you will find some answers. And that's where I found my answers, and that I come to the understanding that's the only place any of us will ever find answers is when we stop paying attention to the outside world and go inward, and that's where we're going to find answers. So that's I would tell anybody who's suffering, don't believe the noise in your head. You are not the voices in your head. You are the witness of those thoughts. You are witnessing them. You're not the creator of them.
And thank you for that advice, Mr. Mike. And can you please recommend a books that influence your journey?
The Power of Now. Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It'll it's a spiritual book that it will uh, help you bring your attention into the present moment and really paints a different perspective of the world and the lives that we're living, um, by taking control of this present moment right here, right now with you, Daniel. Just bringing 100% of your attention into the present moment. Eckhart Tolle does an extremely good job of explaining it.
Well, people, the power of now, and please do read it, is highly recommended by Mr. Mike. And thank you for that recommendations, Mr. Mike. And how has learning to love yourself influenced your relationships with others?
Well, it's changed everything. So everything that's in this 10-week program that I've created is is the roadmap of how I healed myself. So the relationships that I have with people today is far different than what I had when I was 6 years ago when I started this journey. People are coming to me instead of being pushed away. I was pushing people away. Um, and I didn't do anything but sit still and become peaceful, more joyful, more forgiving, more loving, compassionate, and relationships started to heal all around me, and I started to foster better relationships. So, yeah, that learning to love being you is basically a roadmap of how I've mended a lot of relationships.
Mr. Mike, what role does gratitude play in helping you appreciate who you are?
It's one of the most powerful tools that you could use. The Buddhists have this thing, they call it a practice of 2,000 things. And we always focus on all the negative things in our lives. And there's literally thousands of things every day that we could be grateful for, and we ignore them. We can be stuck in traffic, but we're not at the same time we're not paying attention to the beautiful sunrise or the fact that we're healthy, our family is healthy, we have a beautiful home to go to. There's a million things for us to be grateful for. The fact that we can see, the fact that we can drive, the fact that we're alive, the air in our lungs. Being grateful is an extremely amazing practice that I use on a regular basis to reprogram the thoughts that are in my head. I do a daily gratitude practice, and it reprograms my mind to where uh, the random thoughts that come in my head are random thoughts of gratitude.
How do you balance striving for personal growth while still loving yourself as you are now?
That's a good question because I am doing that. I am I am striving for growth, and I'm trying to love myself at the same time. It's hard. That's I got a wife and I got kids and I've got a job, and I've got a program that I'm trying to do, and in the middle of all that, how am I going to take care of myself? And so I struggle. I overcommit a little bit sometimes, and sometimes you just got to take a deep breath and say, you know what, that'll get done tomorrow, and enjoy life. Take a deep breath, and then pick it all up again the next day.
Yes, definitely. And have you found any specific activities like journaling or meditation that help connect with love your true self?
Yeah, I'd say a little bit of everything. You know, breath work, meditation. Um, those are really big. And journaling is extremely powerful. When you have thoughts in your head, they get lost. But when you write something down or you say it out loud, it's extremely powerful. So, uh, yeah, it's a big deal to do a gratitude journal. But breath work and meditation is going to take you to places that nothing else can, because it's an internal focus that gets created when you go inward, and it's pretty powerful when you do.
How do you think cultural or family expectations affect one's ability to embrace their authentic identity?
Yeah, that's a that's another tough one. Yeah, you have a lot of influences all around us every day, and it's tough. Um, it's tough to take in everybody else's expectations and then measure your own in the middle of that. So it's a tough one, but I would highly advise everyone to sit down and put it on a piece of paper and sort it out. Write all the things that you got to give to your family and all your time that you got to give with your family, and then I would draw another column that what the things that you need. Are you exercising? Are you eating the right way? Are you working on yourself? Are you doing the things that you love? Do you like to paint or play basketball? Whatever it is, I would put that on the other side. And you can't live if you've got commitments to your wife and your kids. You can't just do all what you want all day every day, but you can try to find a balance there. And I would highly recommend, you know, putting it on paper where you can actually see it and create some balance there.
Definitely. Always there's a balance, people. And Mr. Mike, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in its fourth season, and my baby podcast, Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love Letters in third season, and my Movie 101 review and Music 101 in its fourth season, too, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. Mr. Mike, what message would you share with others who are struggling to love being themselves?
Just there, have hope that you can figure this out. Try to spend some time on yourself. Be creative. It's what we were all meant to do. It's not what we were designed to do. Is use our imagination and be creative. So if you have anything that you love doing, uh, do it. And uh, just be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself, people. And Mr. Mike Wood, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy or any projects that you're doing right now?
Yeah, just learn to love being you. I got a handful of different projects in the works right now, but learn to love being you is the 10-week program that all this is built around, and you can find that at learntolovebeingyou.com. That's it's a place that you can go, and if you put in the work, it takes about an hour a day for 10 weeks. But if you put in the work, you will be a transformed human at the end of it. Um, but it takes some courage to face your fears, and it takes the discipline to put in the effort. But if you can muster up those two things, you won't be the same person in 10 weeks. Um,
Yes, people. Yes, let's support Mr. Mike Wood because if you support him, for sure, more and more and more empowering advocacy to come, more and more empowering courses to come. So, Mr. Mike. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate you.
More to come, people. See you soon.